Big Mike, can you hear us?
Is anybody there?
Yeah, we're here. Can you hear us? He can't hear us. There you go, guys. Off to a rousing start. I'll call Big Mike and then see what we'll be able to do. Yeah, I'm your host, Todd Masi here. We're still, I think, you can't say quarantined. I think now it's self-quarantined, right? It's raining outside. Technically, we could go outdoors and do whatever you want. Not whatever you want, but, you know. And, yeah, Bob Bell's still in Canada, still there stuck in Canuck land. And apparently they still have a curfew till 9:30 until Friday. Friday, Bob Bell will be free to go out and be his own American again. So
I'll be able to have a drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me call Big Mike. It seems like this might be the type of night where it's easier to call him by phone. But if you're watching, please comment and engage with us. We're here for you. Hang out with us and all that stuff. Can you hear the phone ringing, Bob?
Yeah, I heard. I heard the phone ringing.
Okay, let's see if he picks up. Yeah. This is titillating broadcasting. This is like broadcasting from the 1940s or 50s. I don't even think they had like phones like that back then. But, yep. I guess.
Please leave your message for.
This is a rousing start.
Show ended before it began.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Tony Moreno? How's it going, buddy? Tony Moreno, very cool guy.
Oh, we got a count. Oh, great.
Yeah. I knew him from back in the days when we used to do a comedy show at Mug Lounge. Remember Mug Lounge, Bob? Mug Lounge?
Yeah. Where was that? I remember. God, there's so many incarnations of Hug. Mug was. Oh, yeah.
That was at I think 13th Street. 13th Street.
Right. 13th off of was it First or Avenue A? Something. I remember what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I got, the funny thing is, it was like when I was drinking and I get so hammered, over there, we'd barely have an audience sometimes. And I just I just drank all the free PPR I could get. But it was an interesting time.
I like it because they had little, there are these little places people could sit. And then we used to do the show right in the middle of the floor, basically. We had a small stage. Yeah, I kind of like this setup.
Yeah, it was the weird thing was it was kind of set up like a whatchamacallit. It was set up like a living room. Had a weird living room thing going on.
That's right.
Yeah. Let me call Big Mike. Big Mike, we need his 13th Avenue A. Then we were at No Fun. Yeah.
Right.
It's called Big Mike.
You know, Todd, you there?
Yeah. We just re-invited you into the room, but we couldn't hear you.
Tony.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try again to get in. Okay.
All right, get in. We need your bodiness. All right, the show started. All right, there you go. Yeah. So, yeah. So, Bob, how are you doing, Bob? Now that we have you, and you're coming back to New York, right?
It looks like maybe in the next few weeks. I'm there's nothing definite, but it looks like I might. I have a number of reasons I got to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So at least for a short period of time. Doesn't mean I'm going to stay, but we'll see.
I do find it funny, Bob, because before you didn't have the internet in your apartment. You lived in the only apartment where you didn't have the internet. Apparently, you were living in the 1970s, like a 1970s tenement, right in the Upper East Side, right?
Yeah, well, that's basically what it is. The apartments I've had. You know what the difference is? It's free here. I don't have to pay for it.
It's all the Canadian socialism. Right?
Right. That's right. It's from Canadian socialism right into HAPS TV. That's how it works. So, I'm not.
In America, Bob, you got to pay for your internet, all right? Just say freaking France and North France or wherever you're at.
I don't even pay for the TV. I mean, I don't have regular channels, but I have enough from I can watch old hockey games, so I don't care.
Hey, Big Mike, are you there, buddy? Can you hear us?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, everything's good.
Oh, we did it. All right.
There you go. Yeah. By the way, Tony says
I think it's my phone starting to quit on me. The actual phone is starting to quit on me now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. By the way, Tony says
phone, the horse and buggy, the kind of thing. It's it's a Model T. It's only 3 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a flip phone.
By the way, Tony says that he hasn't seen Bob in years. So have we. Literally, technically it has been a year and a change, so it's been years for us too. We
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen him since I think April of 2017.
Yeah, that long, like. How about
Something like that.
Todd?
Remember when that we got into the cab together by Bowery Electric, and I drove over to Pyramid
Yeah,
Club.
I vaguely remember
That was I think it was April 2017, something on that level. I haven't seen you physically in 4 years.
How about the diner? We saw each other at the diner.
Oh no, right. Let's say that was 2019.
That's what I thought. A little later.
Right. Let's say it was fall of 2019, like October, September, October of but still, it's been 3 years. Like
It's been a
2 years.
while, Yeah.
Oh, the funny thing about Bob, he just like disappears sometimes. Like, wasn't there like in the I remember like in the mid 2000s, Bob just like disappeared to like Austin, Texas without saying anything.
Well, that was what we used to say in the old days in the fraternity or Columbia. We said he's in Bob's space.
I
I think it's like his own time space continuum, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting as it sounds, but I think it's accurate.
Yeah. Oh, but
It's like was it the Phantom Zone? It was like in Superman, the Phantom Zone.
Yeah. No, what word did Superman live in? The
Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah. The Bob Bell Solitude Lair. Yeah.
The Fortress of Bob Bell's Solitude.
Yeah. Where Bob Bell just goes and just thinks about math forever, and then yeah. We got some Bob Bell mental penalia, I guess. I don't know what that word is. I just created it. Tony says, I got him a beer in 2016. He didn't drink it. He was wasted. That was the last time I seen him.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen you wasted, but I know you don't drink beer. I know that.
Now Mike's right. I'm more like a vodka and orange juice sort of person.
Right, or a melon bowler with the Midori melon liqueur.
Midori, if they have them. So you can't get the Midori all the time, Mike. That's the
problem.
No,
it's a specialty thing, yeah.
Yeah, so
it's only getting A bars.
Yeah. Now, I like
how Bob Bell drinks like Mad Men drinks. Like, Bob Bell looks like not like that guy. He never wears a suit, but he drinks like these martinis that the Illuminati would drink. So it's
girly drinks. You ever see the movie? What's the name of one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jack Nicholson, the Scorsese film?
Yeah.
The Departed.
Yeah.
Where the guy goes, drinking cranberry juice, huh? My girlfriend drinks that when she got a period. Are you on your period? And he gets into the big fist fight.
Right. I know. I get that all the time. I mean, I do all variations on them. There's the Greyhound, which I think instead of is orange juice, it's grapefruit juice, and then the Pearl Harbor, that's the pineapple juice. That's
right.
The Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Also, sometimes called a Presbyterian.
Is that really? Yeah, that just
Wait, Bob, you drink a drink called the Pearl Harbor? That's
it's like vodka, pineapple juice, and a Midori. I think that's, or maybe it's just vodka and pineapple juice. I'm not sure, but I like the sweeter drink. I just I mean, either that or the straight alcohol. I never could get into the bourbons, or when I went to Edinburgh, I actually drank. I drank some of the scotches, and even though I liked it, but even that's a little bit harsh.
Bob, I know you said that like
scotches, the ones that still have the oak tree in it, or that kind of like the ones that are still like they look brown, they have stuff floating in it.
The smoke, they have the smoky one. They have the one with the peat. Those are actually the best. That was the best one. They're the most expensive, but they are tasty. But it's still very harsh. I mean, it's like it's alcohol. I mean, you can tell it's not like you got to slowly enjoy it. It's good.
Yeah.
But
I actually miss those. I actually like those hardcore like alcohols when I was drinking it, like Scotch. Like I was like, that was like I always
drink regularly was the Jack Daniel's Old Number 57 Tennessee Sipping Whiskey. I used to drink that.
Mm-hmm.
Like curse it.
Hey, the funny thing is with Big Mike, I used to. So there used to be like an open mic at Barry Poetry Club, and then they'd have like a situation, like a drinking contest, and Big Mike would always win because he's a big fucking Viking white guy, and he'd like.
I never participated in those drinking. I was already sober at that time.
Oh, you didn't?
You must be thinking of Moonshine used to win them. Moonshine Shirley used to win.
Oh, maybe. Am I confusing my big white guys?
All right, big white guy. It was moonshine. Remember, he drank the one that was like a fish bowl. He
Mhm.
drank it. It was like 64 ounces. And then he
Mhm.
vomited it all out.
Oh
Oh
God.
my god.
It was a 64 ounce, like those fish bowls that they keep the matchbooks in on the piano or the piano bar.
Mhm.
It looks like a great big brandy glass. It was like a fish bowl.
Mhm.
It's like 64 ounces, and he drank that, and then he vomited it all out immediately.
Oh
God.
God. We had a fraternity guy that did that too. Remember that, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
You know the funny thing is that kind of reminds me of like you remember like when you're like a kid like in grade school. There's always like some kid that vomits, and like the vomit's always like fluorescent colored, like green or like purple and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the kids that grow up and vomit after they drink. Those are the people
Yeah.
that grow up and they become those adults that always vomit, like and they can't hold their vomit. You know, like, they're like,
Those are the guys who like become part of like the immigration team of the Trump administration. That's basically who those guys are.
it's always political with you, Bob. It's always political with you, Bob. Can't you talk about fun stuff, Bob?
Anyway, Tony, thanks for the beer. 5 years ago, and when I see you again, I'll buy it.
Oh my
I
God.
appreciate it.
Yeah. There you go. No, but I could have sworn I think one night
No,
you
I'd
did drink.
already quit at that time. I stopped drinking in '97.
I remember
What?
that. I remember. Yeah. He stopped drinking it because I remember that's when I saw him, and that's right a little bit before he started going to
Right,
the
the
mics.
open mics, right?
Yeah.
But you never drink once in a while, like
Not
a
at
beer?
all. No.
No.
Oh wow!
God.
I could have sworn I drank against you in like one of those like competitions, and you always kicked my ass. But maybe it was moonshine. Maybe it was moonshine.
I'm pretty sure it was Moonshine Shore used to do that. And who else participated? Lucky Dave. Lucky Dave used to do it too.
Lucky Dave. John King. John King was.
Yeah, John.
Oh
he
yeah,
was
maybe it's John King. Yeah.
John King was sober for a really long time. I think 20 years, and then he went back to drinking.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't notice.
Hey, John King. Hey, by the way, speaking of which, do you think John King survived the pandemic?
I don't know. Well, he survived that first pandemic. If you get my drift.
Yeah. Right.
Should I try to call John King or something? I don't know. Let me see.
That'd be great if we could get John King on. I'd love to.
I don't think he has a telephone.
I have
Really?
I have a number. Let's see. It's ringing.
Oh, I'd love this.
It's ringing. Let's see if he answers.
Hello?
Hello? Oh, no.
One more. Give it one more.
Yeah.
He probably still has an old-fashioned answering machine, you know?
Yeah.
A beeper.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll give it one more ring.
Hello.
Wait, hello?
Hello.
Is this John King?
Yeah.
Hey, John King, it's me, Todd. Todd Malency. How's it going?
Hi, Todd. What's up?
Hey, man, we're streaming. We're broadcasting right now via Haps with Bob Bell and Big Mike, and we just brought you up because we were wondering. Yeah, we haven't seen you in a while, and there's a pandemic. Like we were wondering, did John King survive the pandemic?
Great to hear from you, John.
Evidently, so you're live streaming. You're not doing Drexler, are you?
No, I'm not doing. Drexler's is closed. I think it's still closed, but I'm doing it.
Yeah. So I see them doing something in the daytime. They have it, whatever the gate down, whatever something seems to be going on inside during the daytime when it won't.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
I don't know what it is, but I mean they haven't been open. But I mean some of the other parts of Avenue A have been open. I think everything. So.
Wow. By the way, John King is living up to his name as Minister of Information. I didn't know.
What's the minister have to say? I haven't heard from you, John, in over a year, so I'd love to hear your take on what's going on.
I haven't heard it since they closed the Yippee down, the Yippee Cafe down. I don't think I've seen it since then.
Yeah.
Yippee Cafe, yeah. Dana Peel was Jeff for joint. He put that whole project together. and that allowed the marijuana parade to go in full force. And then they turned down the Marine march and stand out of it. Then they later proved that one, but they are good publicity Dana did with that. It's for joint. So,
hey, John, quick question. So, what have you been doing during the pandemic? I'm just wondering, because, like, you know, were you like going to like, because bars were closed, you know?
Taking long walks.
As I say, all the sex clubs were closed, John. All the sex clubs, the after-hours sex clubs, they're all closed.
They've been closed for decades.
The Hellfire Club, it's closed.
Private sex clubs in different places. As far as the regular underground sex clubs, I mean, the cock was still doing it.
Or paddle.
More than epidemic.
Wow. How'd you function during the pandemic? Did you like see people, or you just like, besides your long walks, did you like?
I would. One of my favorite places to go. Of course, I am a vegan. You probably knew that. But there's a group called Food Not Bombs. It's actually a worldwide group, and it's young, idealistic kids. And they hand out, they have free vegan meals on Sunday. They have free vegan grocery bags. So they're a delight, and they're doing something good. So I go there. Actually, I was at the controversial. They had a punk. They used to have the Shadow Punk Rock Festival at Thomas Square Park.
Oh yeah. That was that thing. That was like a big thing where they had like, they lied and said that they were doing it.
Okay, there's a big scandal with that. They had Chris Flash and Shadow, the publisher. He puts it together, and he signed all the papers for all the different productions for the spring and summer and fall. And he subcontracted to another group, and they said, you know, we're going to have 200 punk rockers at this event, and there'll be a 6-foot distance. And then, and none of that was true. They had probably close to 1,000 people, and they were all right next to each other, unmasked. And the local city council person, Harvey Epstein, was walking his dog, I guess, through the park at the time, and it was a bit too much. He did the best thing for tenants in New York. He said on the guidelines board and everything, and then I said a council member, but he came down on the whole process. But I talked to Chris Flash and my Shadow. He said, this is 2 weeks ago. He said, hey, we're going to be up again. We got our lawyers, and they talked to the city, and everything's going to go up. And then last Saturday, I was at the park because I thought they were going to do it. That Saturday, they had 2 police cars that usually perform.
Yeah.
That was the message. So yeah, it's
wow.
So where is this coming out of? Where are you doing your?
Well, we're doing this from the internet. We're doing this remotely. We're doing this. I'm doing it from home, and Bob Bell's in Canada right now because.
Oh, I wonder. I see Bob Bell anywhere. I mean, I was always found on Bob Bell, seeing him on the street, walking somewhere.
I know, we're running each other.
Always walking somewhere, up to each other on the street. Yeah, I guess the most likely.
So, John, I was at the tribute to David Peel at the Bowery Electric back on 420, and I was sitting at the same table as Jennifer Blowdryer.
Oh. Yeah, that was, he really had the best music, David Peel. I loved his song, John Let It See, so I performed the Voices Square Park and helped him put together the record album, I Love Marijuana record album, and that made him a star in some ways, at least for some people out there, getting a worldwide audience. And he was actually a veteran, and people didn't know that.
Yeah, he died at the VA on 23rd Street and 1st Avenue of a heart attack.
Yeah, they tried to auction that property off. Some real estate interests run that VA property badly. It's got a river view, and it's just prime real estate. So
I used to see him on the 14A bus all the time. I used to see him there. He kind of got old really fast. and he got kind of like morbidly obese at a certain point.
Yeah, he was drinking too many soft drinks when they did his Saturday presentations at Theater of the New City during the Memorial Day weekend festival at Theater of the New City. He always had a Pepsi or something in his hand.
Right. Yeah. By the way, we got London Blue just checked in saying, "Hey guys, what's up, London Blue? All the way from Arizona, checking in. She's the Canadian from Arizona." And yeah, by the way, London, just letting you know, Bob Bell will be free from curfew by the Canadian government on Friday. So after Friday.
How long has Bob Bell been in Canada?
Since March of last year.
Oh, really? Well, that's a good place to go. I mean, that's the ideal place that America should be like. It's the ideal America of our dreams. Canada is. Toronto, Montreal, very beautiful.
Well, John, you know the funny thing is, John. So we have like a listener, a viewer. She was from Canada and she left to Arizona because she hates Canada. She feels that Canada's a little too, let's loose.
Too nice. Too white and too nice. Too white and too nice. Not dirty enough. Although they do have a dirty oil slice, they want to pipe down into America.
She just said she hates Trudeau, but not Canada.
Yeah. Bob, do you hate Trudeau?
Don't call me come back, Bob.
Yeah. Bob, Bob, do you hate Trudeau?
I don't hate anybody. Come on.
Oh, that's not bad.
Hey, Bob, you know what you do, Bob? Hey, wait, Big Mike, are you there, Big Mike?
Lars Michael's on
Yeah, back.
Yeah, Big Mike's on the phone too. Yeah.
Lars Michael.
Oh, he's Big
Large Michael.
Yeah,
Lars Michael.
yeah. Where's Big Mike? Where are you, Big Mike?
Well, I'm in college, right by where St. Vincent's used to be. I live with Janet.
You're by St. Vincent's.
I live I'm squatting in Janet Rosen's apartment.
You've been squatting with Janet Rosen for about 10 years, have you?
I've been couch surfing for like 11 years now.
You're near Arthur Schwartz.
Arthur Schwartz, who's that? Is it drama?
You're running for city council in your district. You want to vote?
I'm become a total anarchist. I don't vote anymore. I just assassinate political figures.
Well, how can you won't get to do jury duty there?
I'm like with the Sacco Vanzetti party.
By the way, I like how John King's like, vote. Well, how are you going to do jury duty? That's like $40 a day. What's wrong with you?
I'm telling you this, I've never served on a jury. It's like, come and get me, coppers, if you want me to sit on that jury. It's like, I'm serious, come and get me.
Yes.
I don't believe in anything anymore. I believe in strippers with
You always did.
with erect nipples. Strippers and erect nipples. That's what I believe in.
Where do you get your stripper action these days?
My God.
No, I haven't. Not for 14 months. I was still going to flash dancers and Diamond Lils and Cheetahs.
Diamond Lils. Oh my God.
And, guys, you know what? Guys, you know what?
The dollhouse.
Yo, guys, you know what we should do, man? Like me, you, Bob Bell, Big Mike, Tony Moreno, and you know what? We'll bring in John King. Let's all go to a strip club. I want to see what's going to happen with these
I
five.
don't think they still exist. I guess in Queens they do.
Maybe not even in Queens, not in New York State at all. They all shut down. They haven't been open in like 15 months now. So it's pushing 15 months.
No. Strip clubs have been opening, and like I follow
in New Jersey, not in New York State.
Big Mike, I follow a stripper. I follow a Russian stripper. Believe me, in Brighton Beach and Bay Ridge. It's
online. Probably it's probably not legal. The kind of thing. It's like they bring out a stripper, but it's not like it's not a real gentleman's club. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure at Brighton Beach and at a place like Bay Ridge with the mafia or the Russian mafia, they have things going on there.
Are any of them gentlemen's clubs?
They are gentlemen.
Oh my God, this is yeah. But so John King. So what fun stuff have you been doing during the pandemic? Like what does a John King do during a pandemic? What's his typical?
I pay my rent. I send my rent certified mail because the landlord sometimes has trouble with it, losing it.
Mhm.
So I sent it certified mail a few months ago, and it came back to me.
Uh-oh.
But I resent it and everything worked out. But I mean, I had never got certified mail returned to me.
Wait, John, how do you have a job, or are you retired?
Evidently, I'm retired. Nobody will hire me.
Yeah.
Well, you're over 65. It's very hard to get hired over 65 unless you work for the federal government.
Right,
That's the only place that doesn't enforce those regulations.
Everybody's age is age.
Wait, John, are you over 6? See, it's so funny because, like,
Lars Michael told you I was over. How old? Lars Michael, how old did you tell him I was?
yeah,
You're older than me. I know that, and I'm like 65. So you've got to be at least 66, 67.
wait, you're 65 now, John? Like,
No, Lars Michael.
Yes.
65? Holy shit!
Lars Michael, 65 though.
Oh, I didn't know that. But Bob's like 60, right? Bob, you're like you just turned 60.
Yeah, 60, right.
So Big Mike's 5 years
King's
old.
probably. I was.
They talked a lot younger. You were 17 when I met you.
Yeah, I was 17. Yeah, wow. Wait, John, do you want to say how old you are, or you don't want to?
What?
You want to say you want to say your age or no?
I don't give my age ever.
Oh, there you go.
But if you're Social Security, if you're a Social Security recipient, you got to be over 62 and a half at least. So we know you're over 62 and a half.
I think the Minister of Information is timeless.
Exactly.
Of course.
Hey, you know what? As long as you still have your Beatles haircut, you'll always be young. You know.
It's longer than ever because I'm afraid to go to the barber shop.
All right. Yeah. He's still got like brown hair. It's amazing. Do you dye your hair, or is it just like?
No, it's natural. One just has to. It might be. I don't know why. It's basically brown or black. It used to be darker. As one grows older, sometimes the hair grows lighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Michael would know maybe that situation where the hair grows.
Oh, I like that. I like that he calls Big Mike Large Michael. Look at that. Like,
Yeah, right. There's only two people call me Large Michael. One of them is John King. The other was Joey Gay. He used to call me Large Michael.
Joey Gay.
Brody Stevens started that. Brody Stevens.
Oh, Brody Stevens, right? Brody. Well, Brody is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Yes, I realized that. I was at that event remembering.
Yeah. I can't. By the way, speaking of which, I can't imagine Brody like during a pandemic. He probably would have offed himself during this time too. Probably. You know?
It would have been too much, probably.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh wow. So so you're doing good. That's good. You're still kicking and stuff. Did you?
What does the minister have to say for our political future, as in the U.S. political future?
Andrew Cuomo. What about Andrew Cuomo?
He's gonna make it through his term, but he will not run for re-election. And it's a very.
I think he could still run for re-election. I think he could still win. If he's running against Andrew Giuliani, he will win.
Yeah, I know Andrew Giuliani stuck his face. One might remember when he was with his father and he was having a tantrum. He was 12 years old.
Right. That was when Chris Farley made fun of him. Chris Farley did an impression of him in Saturday Night Live back in the 90s.
Getting hit with a baseball bat, spat a swing, and a bat flies into the stands and smacks him in the head.
Yeah. Hey, Bob. So, what do you think about Andrew Giuliani's chance? Oh, anyway, Bob, how do you think about actually the New York politics seems pretty bleak actually, but what do you think about Andrew Giuliani?
Well,
I don't think he has a snowball's chance in hell. Nobody could take that boy. He's like a 35-year-old boy. Nobody could take him seriously. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be hard for within New York politics.
He golfed with Trump. That's how he got his position. He always goes with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He was golfing. Yeah, he said he was golfing with Trump, like all that stuff. Yeah. By the way, London Blue comments saying Juan Williams leaving the 5. That's good news. What is that? Do you guys know what that means? Or
Yeah, the 5
Ron
is
Williams
show
is the only the liberal in the Fox News lineup of the 5. It's like the guy from Waters World and what's his name, Gutberg,
Right.
and
oh my
they're all
God.
these like like smarmy asshole, real asshole right wing Republican Fox News commentators
Well,
who try to be
kind of
funny.
like
They
all
come off
Trumpers.
sounding like snotty, not even funny, but snotty. And Ron Williams
God.
is like the sole like liberal, and
Right.
you know, he basically is the butt of all their jokes.
Yeah, we need to we need to hook up London Blue with Global Freeze, because Global Freeze is one of our regulars who's like also very conservative, and it's kind of funny since he's in he's from everywhere and nowhere as well. But it's
But the other thing, reality is these people aren't even conservatives. They're just like reactionary.
Right. It's like anything. They're merely television personalities, and they know who their demographic is, and they say snotty, smarmy, kind of smug things about the liberals and Juan Williams in particular, and they get higher ratings that way. That is, I don't know. Looking back, I don't even know if Rush Limbaugh was a true conservative. He was just somebody who knew how to bring an audience to his radio. You know what I'm saying? And that was what made him the man he was he knew what buttons to push.
Yeah,
where to,
right, John. You're right. I agree with you, John. Right. Yeah.
It was just that it was all about same with Trump. Is Trump a conservative? Is Trump no? He's a strict carnival barker. He's like he's a vacuum cleaner salesman, an encyclopedia salesman, a used car salesman, and he just knows how to bamboozle people. You know. Right. They point out when this whole thing with his taxes comes out, they're going to show what a terrible businessman he is. The whole thing about The Apprentice was a joke. The Apprentice was just a script. It was unscripted, but for him it was scripted. He's not a billionaire. He's a guy who, no matter how much money you give him, he loses twice as much as he makes. Right. Or he wouldn't have gone on The Apprentice. Understand that? If he was a real billionaire, he wouldn't have the time to devote to a weekly series for the lowbrow people who thought he was a billionaire. There's a real billionaire like Tesla wouldn't do it. Bezos would never do that. Bloomberg would never do that. But Trump, who's not a billionaire, would, because he's like there was a character on one of the Simpsons where one of his Homer's cousins, he was a professional, went around portraying a rich person at people's parties. When they asked him how much money do you make, and he says none. Nobody's ever asked me to do it yet.
Yeah. Right.
But Bob, Big Mike, to be fair, Mark Cuban has I think he's on the what's that reality show with the where it's like celebrities, they have to not celebrities,
Shark Tank or whatever it is,
yeah.
Well, that's a little bit different. The point is, they're actually, technically speaking, investing in these people's companies. It is he's got kind of pocket change to give out to these poor entrepreneurs. Remember The Apprentice? He didn't give out anything to anybody. He just said you're fired or you win the Apprentice of the Year, but you didn't win anything out of Trump's pocket. Mark Cuban says, here's $5 million, set up a chicken franchise in Alabama, that kind of thing. Here's $500. Here's $500 million, set up a toilet cleaning service. You know what I'm saying? That he had that. Mark Cuban had that money just to throw at somebody because he felt sorry for that pathetic loser, kind of thing. Well, Trump was just making believe he was doing that.
Yeah. I like how Big Mike
talks. A pantomime. What was a pantomime? There was actually somebody got up in the audience and threw money at a stripper, kind of thing, here, I'll make it rain dollar bills for you, you topless girl. Only they weren't topless girls; they were small businessmen in their 20s, who were failures, basically. And that's what on the show.
Big Mike, how are you not chums with Warren Buffett or Dick Cheney? I feel like you'd be their body, hey, it's Big Mike, huh? He tells it like it is, and then you need to kiss ass more to
Well, that's the point. Is I'm the last of the rugged individualists. Kind of thing march to the beat of a different drummer. Kind of thing. Like I can't be anybody's boy. I can't really be anybody's sidekick. That kind of thing. It's not in me.
By the way, Mike Maysfield says, "Hey, settle down, Mike. Settle down. Be a rugged individual."
I am. I'm the true Lone Ranger. I'm the kind of thing. I'm the last of the. I'm a stallion, and a stallion must run free.
Cowboy loose on the range.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Mike mentioned Dick Cheney. It's amazing how like Liz Cheney has become like sort of the darling of like all these like talk shows like MSNBC and everything. Like she's like the reasonable Republican now. When you look at when basically
because
like
she wants to, all she wants to do is kill Muslims. That makes her like a moderate. If you only want to like bomb Tehran, that makes you a moderate now, or even a liberal. If all they want to do is murder everybody in Iran, then you're a liberal in the eyes of the.
Right. But no, Mike's got a point. Yeah, I mean, and it's like and then they even talk about Dick, like and you came from this political family, and Dick. What are we talking about here? Dick Cheney? We're talking about like the Gulf War.
Dick Cheney was Bechtel going into Iraq just so they can steal the oil.
It's
that's all we wanted to do was like set up Bechtel in Iraq. That's why we went to war.
There is no end game. There is no end game. There is no end game. There is no end game.
There's not supposed to be an end game. It's supposed to go on forever so we can continue to dump all this money in the military-industrial complex. There can't be an end point. There can't be.
There is no end game. There is no end game. There is no end game.
Oh God, Bob knows.
His other famous saying. What was his other famous saying? Under his breath. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Remember that? They caught him like saying it under his breath during the congressional Senate hearings. Go fuck yourself.
Don't we want to go back to the time when we had really reasonable, like we're respectable Republicans? Really? I mean, really? This is
like Richard Nixon.
Barry Goldwater. Ronald Reagan sounds like a normal human being now. He sounds like your uncle with the cigar and the brandy instead of somebody like he doesn't sound like Joseph Mengele. That kind of thing. Like.
By the way, Mike Mansfield.
Who said Mengele?
By the way, Mike Mansfield says, "I thought Kanye West was the responsible Republican."
Only when he's not manic depressive. When he's off his meds.
That's it.
Oh my God!
You ever hear that guy when he goes off on a tangent? He really does have mental illness. You realize that? First of all, he's just crazy. Like no, but you realize
he's got $1 billion now, so that cancels it out. I guess
it's going to be Kim 2028.
Hey, so did Howard Hughes, and he was insane. And when he had $1 billion, $1 billion was a lot of money.
Oh yeah, that was like I mean
And he was totally insane.
Well, he lost it, right? It's so weird because he was normal, but then he lost it. Well, how did he lose it again? Where he was just like
he was just obsessed with germs, and he was obsessed with the African Americans. he thought that like they were going to take over. He was going to buy WABC, but he used to sit up in his hotel room like with 100 television sets, watching like all the channels at the same time. And I think it was on the Dating Game. They tried to put what he thought was a white woman with the black guy, and was really a very light-skinned African American with another African who was a slightly darker-skinned male. But he was so outraged that ABC would actually try to get a white woman to date a black man on the Dating Game that he refused. He didn't buy the station. He refused to buy it. Then like go ahead, keep it, you misogynists. Go ahead, mix the races. See if I care.
By the way, Mike Mansfield says he got injuries from plane crashes. I forgot about that. And
he was insane before that happened. He wasn't. He didn't let anybody touch him except if you were having intercourse with him. He was crazy, but long before that. They say in the movie that Scorsese did, The Aviator, was that he and his mother, when he was a kid, had like a sexual relationship. She was like giving him baths when he was like 9, 10, and 11, like washing his, like basically bathing him naked when he was like 10, 11, or 12. It was his mother.
Oh my
And she
God!
was saying,
The alternate history with Big Mike.
He's both saying like, don't go to the bad side of town. Bad side, get it? The African American side, because those people have cholera.
Oh my God!
Like kind of thing. Like she, just like the German Nazis said that Jews were lice-spreading typhus spreaders. In the minds of like Howard Hughes' mother, African Americans were spreading gastrointestinal diseases.
Oh boy, I like the alternate. I like
Mike bringing back the 30s,
the 20s, even the 20s with Howard Hughes in the 20s.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's like 100 years ago now. Yeah. By the way,
100 years ago, right? If remember, he was, I think, if he was born in 1900, he'd be 120 years old today if he was alive. I think he was born like 1900 or 1901, something like that. He'd be like 120 years of age now if he was alive.
By the way, Mike Macefield says he brought the hotel across the street where he was staying because he didn't like the lights shining in his room.
Right, he had all these kind of like quirks, kind of thing that he had.
Right, when you got $1 billion, you can do anything you want.
Right, when you have $1 billion, you're not crazy suddenly anymore. But the point is, like I said, you can be crazy and be a billionaire, and Kanye West, proves it as well.
By the way, John, you were saying something. John, you saying something?
Eccentric. He was eccentric. That's a way to refer to his craziness because he's a billionaire. He's not crazy. He's eccentric.
He's eccentric, right? Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think he went down to Mexico one time, and he was afraid of the food, so he said, "Just bring me a hammer and a coconut." And that's what he lived on. That he was the hammer for the coconut. Like he would smack the coconut open and eat it, and that's all he would eat when he was down in Mexico. Give me a hammer and a coconut, nothing else.
Mike, do you remember when he came on? Like they said it was him, and he was all wrapped up like a mummy, and he did the press conference in the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't him.
Right. It was. I know, but it was hilarious. It was like, is it him? Isn't it him?
Wait. He sent the dummy out there to like.
Nobody. It was. I think it was a fake, or Mike probably.
Well, Mormon. He sent some sort of Mormon, minion out there to do it, like to pose as him.
He got a lot of Mormons. Why do you have Mormons working?
They're all in Nevada. They run the service industry in Nevada and in Las Vegas. The people who run the place there are all Mormons. They don't drink, they don't smoke, and they don't gamble. So you can trust them. Right. You can trust them. They're not going to steal. They're not going to drink. They're not going to embezzle your money because they're all straight arrows.
Oh my God.
Also, big corporate, the big corporate conglomerate, the Mormon Church. They own a whole lot of property.
Yes, their charities are the largest charity in the world, not just the United States. They're bigger than the Catholic Church. It's about like the amount of money that they control in charitable donations. The largest benevolent charitable organization in the world is the Mormon Church.
Yeah, John.
They're big, I'm sure. The Catholic Church has had to pay out a lot for the pedophiles.
Yeah, for buggery, for sodomizing altar boys.
Buggery. Where did you brought that one?
I wonder the Mormon Church have that situation too, though.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Mike Macefield says all the Mormons I met were the biggest party people I ever met.
Perhaps you've met a different type of Mormon. Like things change over time. Like how can I put it? I mean, there's gay Mormons, kind of thing. But I'm talking about the inner circle. I kind of think in 1984 there was like the proletariat, then there was the party, but then there was the inner party. So guess when I talk about Mormons, I talk about we're talking about the charitable people, the straight edges. They're the people in the inner party. They have nothing to do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're the true believers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Bob, have you partied with a Mormon, or have you?
I've met Mormons. I don't know if I've partied with Mormons. I've met them.
Yeah.
I want to throw this out to some people, though. I want to throw to John and to Mike. What do you think about all these recounts? The recount Arizona, what
it's
it's
not
a
gonna
political.
be different.
But forget about whether it's. Do you think it'll have
They're
any
not
political traction?
out of
Will it have
office.
political traction?
Hey,
25.
one at a time, guys.
Will it have any political traction? I know it's all like nonsense, but what do you think?
Yeah,
Well, you know that guy Jerome Corsi, Dr. Jerome Corsi?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've heard of him because I know
He
everything.
claims that by August, Trump is going to be back in the White House. Mike Lindell, the guy with the pillow, my pillow, he says November.
And what's going to happen? How about Fauci? What's going to happen?
The White House, Trump will be will take his rightful place as president again a second time.
See that another January 6th revolution at the Capitol.
Yeah, but I mean, Big Mike, you did predict that was going to happen. You did predict January 6th.
Yeah,
IG Live.
I said they were going to pull it, and who knows? They're going to do it again. You'll watch something with the 2022. Oh shit! The 2022 election. There'll be another uprising in January. Mark my words.
I can see that. That's the thing is going to be interesting to see what happens in the midterms.
Yeah. I think Big Mike dropped so many truth bombs. I think he got kicked out by the Howard Hughes Mormon.
Between Mormon Howard Hughes, that was too much for the internet.
Yeah. So John, what do you think, John? What do you think about John, who are you going to vote for mayor? Who do you like?
I still think I'm staying with Scott Stringer first, and then I'm going to go Diane Morales, was in the news the workforce, but I think I should go for her number 2.
Who's your number 1?
I stay with Scott Stringer because the incident happened over 20 years ago, and then the Intercept came out with a story kind of doubting. I mean, she said she was an intern, but she was actually.
Oh, I actually know. she's a comedian. She was a comedian. I know her actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Gene Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big thing. Yeah. I mean, you're actually. I don't know, man. I mean, I've known her for a while, and she wouldn't. Yeah.
She's with the Intercept now. Wonderful.
Yeah. John King voting for controversial figures. By the way, London Blue says, why was Mike Lindell kicked out of the Republican governor's event when he was invited?
Why was
Mike Lindell? Lindell.
Yeah, I know, the pillow man. He now has slippers. He's offering slippers.
Hey, Big Mike, are you there?
Somebody says, why was Mike Lindell kicked out of the Republican governor's event when he was invited? Supposedly the rumors he's back on the cocaine again. He's back smoking crack all over again.
Is the pillow guy? He's a coke guy?
He's into cocaine again? He was a crackhead.
Really?
Yes, he's going back. He is again. He relapsed, supposedly. At least that's the rumor I'm trying to spread. When anybody asks about, I said, no, he's back. Everybody knows he's back on the crack again.
By the way, London Blue's like, not true, eh? Not true.
It's almost like
well, that's not what I heard. I have some very reliable crackhead friends of mine who said they was smoking crack with Lindell in a crack house just the other day. At least if they told me that, I don't know. They were very reliable crackheads.
The best crackheads. He was a crackhead back in the day. By the way, Mike Macefield says, I'd like someone smoking crack over a repeat of Trump. And then London Blue says, stop watching CNN, Mike.
I don't. I watch MSNBC anyway, so there you go. I don't watch CNN.
NBC.
Yeah.
CNN, Mike.
Yeah. We listened to John King on the corner of East 13th and First Avenue rant about politics. That's our station.
John should have a UHF station. I mean, I listen to it every day.
Wait, by the way, John, are you performing still, or have you not performed?
There's no place to perform. I think the Craig's opening up on June 2nd.
Yeah. Can I ask? By the way, John, can I ask you? Because a lot of these places are asking for people to be vaccinated. Have you been vaccinated? Or?
If that's a private matter, I can't discuss it because it's a private matter. And I want to talk about a COVID conspiracy.
When somebody says that, they mean no. Like it's like asking.
It's a private matter. It's a private
Virgin.
matter. Give him a-
If you ask the virgin, they say, "Well, that's between me and my confessor." No, I'm sorry. If you don't say no, I'm not a virgin. Then you are. You are. Are you a virgin, John? Are you still a virgin?
No, I've had.
See, you'd answer that. That you would answer. Whether or not you're a virgin.
I'm not a virgin.
The vaccination, I'm not telling anybody about my vaccination status.
Don't ask.
Private matter.
It's don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask, don't
I
tell.
want to talk about conspiracy theories, COVID conspiracy theories.
Oh, what's your conspiracy theory, John?
Well, in the news, even respectable groups such as Newsweek are questioning where the virus did arise from, and a lot of people think it was the Wuhan labs and not a bat coming from hundreds of miles away. And so, and a lot of people think it was funded by NIH and Fauci, and one of their a group called Eco Health, a New York group, got $3 million because for the funding to do the research at Wuhan in China, because they were cut off. Obama cut them off for doing research on the SARS-CoV virus at the University of North Carolina. But then Obama cut them off. So Fauci just sent the money through Eco Health and everything over to Wuhan to do the COVID experience. That's two biowarfare groups.
What are you saying? What are you saying, John? What's your conspiracy theory?
It's not mine. The thing I listened to Dr. Null, Gary Null, and he.
Gary Null's great. Hey, John, I love
Get doctor of like.
Yeah, so he has been reporting this. They've been doing SARS after SARS in 2003 happened. They've been doing research and patenting the virus. The CDC patented the virus, and you can't actually patent something that appears in nature, but they patented it anyway.
But it does. SARS does appear in nature. It appears in naturally in bats, and it appears in camels.
I think that the CDC supposedly patented COVID virus, and legally you can't patent something that occurs naturally in nature, from my understanding. I could be totally wrong on that, and probably there are millions of patents, and a lot of them are duplicate patents, and there are millions of those lawsuits over different patents, but that was what I heard on Gary Null, that funding it cut off for the research on it.
I recently, one thing it's interesting, John, is I recently saw a TED Talk with some guy who was actually giving like a symposium 2 years ago about the 1918 flu, the Spanish flu. And one of the things he said, this was, he went through like why, younger people got it more than older people. And one of the things he said was there was like from the H1N1, H1N3, there was a lots of different ones. He said one of the pandemics in 1950 related to a lab leak. It was, so this would not be unprecedented.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. I'd heard, and this is like a respective guy at the University of Arizona, and this was before, COVID. So,
well, yeah, Bob, actually too, I think there's a breaking news thing with the New York Times saying that like Biden's going to research if there was like a lab leak or something like that.
I don't think that matters where it came from. I think that what matters is that Trump tried to say it didn't exist, and that it was going to go away magically because he said it would go away magically. Remember, he told everybody to go to the Easter Mass celebrations on April 13th, 2020, and it's just going to go away. And when it kept on asking, why do you think? Because I just think it's going to go away. And then he caught it and almost died of it.
Yeah.
That's
why he lost. There's no doubt that's why he lost.
Yeah.
Right.
You think we would have won, right?
Yeah, I think
if he had head on faced it all the way back in March when he knew. The point is, what's the name? Woodward and Bernstein, both of them were given like an interview with Trump, and as early as March 28th, he knew it was going to be an epidemic.
Yeah, I remember.
I think he knew in January. I think it was before March.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was early.
They already knew, even in January and February, even the man on the street knew it was going to happen. All right, that is guys like Sean Hannity saying like, well, how many SARS cases are there in the United States? COVID cases? There's zero. Well, in February there was 0, and by April there's 20,000. All right, that was the point. Yes,
and nobody was testing either.
If they had addressed it when there were 0 cases in the United States, that may have not have been 20,000 or at most 20,000. Instead, people are still dying of it now. 600,000 have died, and there are more still dying. People are like, oh, it's over. It's over for the political sense. It's over in that the news cycle has moved on, but in reality, people are still catching it. People are still dying from it.
Well, you said
I swear to God, I thought my number was up this time. I mean, all the things I've been through my life, when this started happening back in February, I said, I don't think I'm going to make it. And I started going around telling people like, well, goodbye. It's been nice talking to me. I'm not going to live through this one. You know, like I think this is what's going to kill Big Mike is the COVID-19. It's going to kill me. Most people are like, oh, you're joking. People were like, oh no, don't talk that way. Oh, boo. And we're like crying, like Janet was crying over it. I don't want you to talk that way.
Yeah. By the way, Mike Macefield says, "Are you asking Trump to address reality?" And
that would be a good thing. Yes, that would have made the whole difference. No matter what policy he had, no matter what tax breaks or what corruption he had, as long I feel the Trump administration, the Trump presidency would have been redeemed if one time he would have accepted reality as it was instead of making up his own quasi-reality, his own sense of reality, his own little world of reality. I would have given him like way leeway on anything. I would like give him a pass on anything. But that when he failed to accept reality, that's what killed it for me. Like, no, this man can't be trusted. This man is detrimental, not just to the United States, to the world, to me personally, to the universe. There's something inherently. This guy is like Nemesis. It's like the planet that's going to crush the planet Earth. Like he's like an asteroid that's going to hit the Earth. That's when I realized it. When he just refused to accept reality on any level except the reality he created in his mind, and then tried to project it into the reality of everybody else.
By the way, before we go, Mike Meesfield has asked an interesting question, and he says, do you guys think the cases of COVID will rise again with the new CDC mask policies? London says nope, and she burned her mask.
Of course it will. But it's not going to be as. It's not that it's not going to be reported. It's not going to be front page news anymore. It's not going to be It's not going to be the what do they call it, the news cycle. Not even covered. They don't have to. People will stop paying attention to it. People will continue to get sick. People will continue to die of it. But they point out, like a news cycle is driven by one story. Well, that story is gone. It's over with. The story that people are talking about is the reopening. The story people talk about the vaccination, how everybody's getting vaccinated.
Vaxxed and waiting for sex. Right.
I don't even think it's going to get to be maybe possibly 60%. But the reality is, COVID ain't going anywhere. There's going to be resurgences, just like there was resurgence in India, and there's a periodic resurgence in Italy, and obviously now in Ireland and England. And there's one in Mexico, and I think there's one other country that's getting Japan has like a 1% or a 2% vaccination rate. The people in Japan are begging there not to be an Olympic Games in Tokyo because they're afraid that it's going to open the door to a total extra new pandemic. I guess it's slated for July. People are against. I think like 90% of Japanese are against their having an Olympic game in Tokyo because they're afraid of what's going to happen. It's not going anywhere.
Fukushima blowout, nuclear reactor.
People don't talk. They pointed that's as deadly as it ever was. Same thing with Chernobyl is as deadly as ever was 40 years later, and almost 50 years later, 3 Mile Island is still radioactive.
No one can go. break through. I mean, because there's still a lot of uranium underneath. They covered it with concrete and sand. But when
The concrete degrades after a time. The concrete doesn't stop anything at a certain point either. They have to put another layer of concrete on it. They say ultimately they're going to need, for example, in Chernobyl, they talk about by the year 2100 they're going to have to put a concrete dome over Chernobyl as high as the Statue of Liberty.
Whoa!
Because there's nothing
concrete, and
it's so hot there as it ever was. But the point is the news cycle is no longer driven by Chernobyl. The news cycle is no longer driven by Fukushima. The news cycle is no longer driven by 3 Mile Island, and very soon the news cycle will not be driven by COVID-19 anymore. It will be driven by what's open.
I just want to say that was very artsy with Bob Bell brushing his teeth and then eating like a piece of something.
I had no idea he was brushing his teeth. How did you tell?
Once Mike gets on a roll, I got to do something. Take a
look. Good oral hygiene will prevent COVID. Remember that.
Stay active. Exercise.
Yeah, Bob, keep walking around your apartment in case yeah.
Good oral hygiene will prevent radiation poisoning.
Bob Bell, where in Canada are you?
Come again?
Where in Canada?
Where in Canada are you?
Montreal.
Oh, that's my favorite. They have beautiful fresh and the
it's very nice.
Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto's nice too, but I always like Montreal. I can work, I can even try my French a little bit.
Did they close the bathhouses in Montreal, Bob?
Pretty much. Well, not that I have like a first-hand knowledge of this, but I think they pretty much closed everything. They've been reopening things though. Even theaters are slightly.
Do they have strip clubs in Montreal?
They have strip clubs. Go down to St. Catherine Street, and basically they have like sort of monuments to all the strip clubs. I mean, that's a different thing. I mean, to them it's.
Are the strip clubs closed now though? Are they open or closed? The strip clubs.
I think there's one on Saint Laurent that I think is like a dance thing that might be open.
Road trip, Todd, me, you.
Yeah.
Road trip.
Yeah.
But the border's still closed though, right?
Yeah. Most of them, they'll be open pretty soon.
That's the first thing you got to do. You got to go up to Montreal and go to a strip club.
Yeah. By the way, London Blue asks if they dance with a mask.
I haven't been in. I haven't gone in, so I don't know.
Yeah, because we know Bob. You tell him that joke about like your someone asked you like where the titty bar at. Remember that joke?
Yeah. People think that I'm the titty bar guy, but for the most part, I don't know why. I mean, maybe that is the old Bob Bell. I don't know. I didn't even go to them then. But for some reason, people always connected me with this thing. Like, come on, you gotta know what it is really. Here he is, and they'd always point to me and they'd laugh. And then I'd know one from memory, and then I'd say, all right, I think maybe there's one over here, and then they'd all laugh. It's like, yeah, we asked the right guy.
Bob, reluctantly, bitterly telling people where the titty bar at. Right?
Basically, yeah, that's it. Like,
resigned to his his fate as the pointer of titty bars. All right, I think that's our time for tonight.
Really?
We had a fun show. Yeah.
I enjoyed talking with everybody.
Yeah,
it's great hearing from you, John.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Yeah, it was good to hear from you. Glad to see you live.
Yeah.
Oh,
We worried about you, John. We were.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were worrying about. I'm not glad you were worrying. I don't know if I'm unsure. But I guess it's good you were worrying about me.
Yeah, and by the way, it's good to see that you and LeBron James have the same philosophy about telling people if you used a vaccine or not.
Well, yeah, it's a private matter. I think George Bush was asked a question once, and he said, "That's a private matter." That's why I picked that line up. Only a good thing I picked up from listening to W. Bush.
Yeah, exactly. Him and his stupid paintings. Yeah. So, all right. I guess that's our show.
Okay, that's the show.
We'll be back next week. I guess. Yeah, probably next week. Bob, you're still in Canada next week?
Yeah, probably next week. Yeah, maybe next week.
Come again?
What are the hours?
Come again, John?
What hours? Wednesday.
I'm not sure because like we do it sometimes. Well, tomorrow I've got a gig, so sometimes we do it Wednesday, sometimes Thursday. Just follow us here, guys. Follow us on social media, and we'll post up. If you're on Haps, follow us. Thank you, by the way, London Blue, Michael Macefield. Thank you for being a new guy.
Yeah, London Blue.
Antonio Moreno, thanks again for commenting and checking us early and stuff. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Big
London
Mike,
Blue. Bonsoir.
me, and and John King.
How many viewers did you get this time, Todd? How many viewers?
I think we had like around 30.
Great.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
Just a lot in the internet world.
By the way, if you want to follow John King, just go into the Lower East Side and you see like a person with a Beatles haircut, drinking a. John, are you still drinking or are you not?
I drink red wine, organic red wine. I don't like the sulfites of the wine, so I do some organic red wine, but I only make it a glass. It's really light, but I don't see any difference in not drinking it.
Yeah. Well, man, you know what? We got to bring back John King so he can talk about his days with what was that Andy Warhol you hung out with and all that stuff.
Studio 54 days, the days of Andy Warhol. Those are the days.
John King, the Lower East Side Forrest Gump, except he's got more gump chin. All right.
Okay.
I used to hang out at 54, but not during the initial Ian Schrager, Steve Rebell. Later with Jerry Rubin. He had the networking parties. I used to hang out with Jerry Rubin.
Yeah. All right. We got the countdown. 20 seconds.
That's the best part of the show.
That's part of the show.
Yeah, 20 seconds. There you go. All right, Johnny, you want to go with us? 10 seconds. Go ahead. 9, 8. Yeah.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3,